Welcome to Around the Dog World as we get our new show season started here at National Terrier. On this month's Around the Dog World, there's loads to fit in from National Terrier. We've got to take a look at last week's Best in Show winners from Scottish Breeds and UK Toy, but also a look at this year's Best in Show and Reserve Best in Show winning breeds at Crufts, the American Cocker Spaniel and Miniature Poodle. So what better place to start than the home of this year's winner, Maimi, the American Cocker. Afterglow with Jason Lynn and Mike Gadsby. Now Jason and Michael, where exactly can the origins of the American Cocker be traced back to?
Well, all the Spaniels can share a common ancestry and were developed to accomplish different manners in the way that they hunted. And in the same way over here, we got Field Spaniels and Springer Spaniels and then Welsh Springers, Cockers. Cockers would have been initially the same breed in America as they were in England. And there was a lot of imports leaving this country to go to America. With their own selective breeding, they were beginning to change things a little bit. So they were creating within the Cockers like a fancier, smaller type of dog. And I think it's in the 40s that the breed was split. It wasn't two different breeds, it was just split by virtue of type. So dogs which had a slightly shorter foreface, a little bit more hair, a slightly sloping top line and a little bit more height at the withers became Cockers.
As an American, what we know as the Cocker Spaniel is one of these. So what the British call Cocker Spaniels, we call in the States an English Cocker. Around the same time that Mike's talking about, the 40s, 50s, there was a surge of popularity. You know, these guys were the most popular breed with the AKC. And I guess like any breed that goes through that sort of surge of popularity, there was a downside as well. And issues with temperament problems and everything else. But it's a really typical breed to see as pets.
So what was it that these particular breeds, Cockers, American Cockers, were bred for initially?
They're flushing spaniels. They're meant to flush game in various types of cover. Retrieve when necessary.
And they're supposed to obviously retrieve a smaller bird like woodcock. And so when American Cockers came over and were introduced into the gun dog group, there was some resentment, as it were. And then, of course, more recently, we heard these same criticisms because Jason was shown a beautifully groomed American Cocker at Crufts. Now, this is the thing. There's been lots of cases where they've been excellent little working dogs. And of course, when they were worked, you would take the coat off. Like Irish Water Spaniels, they're absolutely fantastic dual-purpose gun dogs. The same ones are shown as are worked. But if you were hard working an Irish Water Spaniel, you would cut the coat down. So, we don't work them, but we do breed with functionality in mind, that they could work.
And Jason, sure. They are closely related to the English Cockers, as you would have known them. And the Cocker is always thought of as a merry little cheerful gun dog. Is that the same in American Cocker?
Yeah, absolutely. And the word merry is in the standard for the breed. I think if you could sum them up in one word, it would be just that. It would be merry, a wagging tail, always up for whatever adventure you want to go on. They have a really strong desire to do a job, to be with people, and they're always on the go.
If you're buying a puppy, at least seeing the mother, she's got to have a good temperament. And puppies of 8 weeks old should be happy and want to come to be picked up and wag their tails. So it's important as a breed feature that we're all breeding for that very, very specific, happy, merry little dog.
And you both found the breed individually, but Mike, why was it an American Cocker for you?
Well, as a kid, I used to go to the shows with a girl called Liz Buttrick. American Cockers were reasonably new. She bought a bitch, a little black and white bitch, that she decided she didn't want to keep. So I think I was probably 17 or something at the time. I swapped a car that had something happened with the engine. Her husband could always fix cars. And she was the grandmother of my first champion, a dog called Salt in the Swing.
I got my first American Cocker a little bit earlier than Mike, but mine was a stuffed toy. And actually there's a funny picture of me as a kid. posing my stuffed American Cocker toy with a sign that says "Best in Show." So I think from an early age I was really drawn to the look of the breed, the beautiful faces, the long ears, the soft eyes. I also grew up just at the tail end of what was probably the heyday of the breed in the US. Everything about them makes for a wonderful pet.
Mike spoke briefly about you being in the Best in Show ring with that beautifully groomed American Cocker. That must take a lot of time to get Miami looking the way he did.
Yeah, of course. I mean, somebody was saying, comparing Crufts to sort of like going to the Oscars, and obviously the way people dress when they go to the Oscars is much different than you dress when you go to Tesco. I think most of what you see in the ring really takes place long before you ever go to the show. Miami, for example, his routine is he gets a bath twice a week, and that's kind of it. And before the show, he has his face clipped, the back is stripped, and the feet are scissored. But it's just that consistency of week-to-week maintenance.
As a judge, what are you looking for in an American Cocker?
Well, it's vital when I'm judging that I judge a dog that feels when I touch it like it could work and do a day's work. So they have to be solid, they have to have a big rib cage, they have to have a forechest, they have to have shoulders and upper arms that mean that their momentum on the move is like easy. It means that they can tirelessly work for a long period of time. Where people get hung up on is like just a pretty face or this sloping top line that's desirable, or the coat. But you've got to have the essential parts of the dog right first, the size of the teeth, the temperament. All of those things are the most important. And then you can start to put on the lovely gently sloping top line, the coat, the big eyes, the beautiful face, the big plush foreface. All of those things are icing on the cake. You've just got to get the cake right first.
Yeah.
And I can remember, in particular with Miami, something that was really special about him was that he seemed to be a combination of a lot of the dogs in his family. You could see bits of his mother, bits of his grandfather. So he sort of seemed to get the best of a lot of the dogs in his family.
That's what you dream of as a breeder. You're doing these combinations, hoping that you will pick up the very best features from the pedigree.
Even at his very first show, when he was 6 months old, there was an American judge, and he won the CC and was best of breed at 6 months and 2 weeks of age. Crufts was actually only his 9th ever show. We really hadn't shown him at all. He won his title really quickly. I handled him to his first ticket. Our friend Susan Crummy handled him to his second ticket, and then Mike handled him at Windsor for his third ticket. He was out of the puppy class. He was a champion, and I didn't feel he was ready to do anything more, so he stayed home. And then last fall I took him to the Gun Dog Society of Wales, and that had been his first show in quite a while. He won the CC, Best of Breed, and then won the group.
Best in Show, yeah.
And that was his last show for last year. And then sort of to give him a run out before Crufts, I took him to the Home Counties American Cocker Club the week before Crufts to see how he would, respond, having been out of the ring all winter. And he was Best in Show at the club show. And then his next stop was Crufts, so.
It sounds like he's a dog that surprised you.
Yeah, it really has surprised us. I think in some ways we even underestimated how good he was, and partly that was because we hadn't seen him in the ring enough. And I think at Crufts, everything came together in terms of his development. And
the other thing as well, he was really good in his class. He was better in the challenge. Then we got there in time to watch him in the group, and he showed fantastically. And then when he went in for Best in Show, when it counted, he was stepping up a gear.
And it must have been a very different experience. Ricky went in as top dog all breeds, so there was a pressure and expectation.
Completely, yeah. There was no expectation because most people had never seen or heard of him. The group win was incredible because it was such a beautiful group and completely caught us by surprise. We just enjoyed the show, and it kept getting better and better and better as the week went on.
Now, what do you put the success down to?
I think that in the same way that somebody could have an enormous appreciation of the ballet, I have this absolute love of great dogs. They needn't necessarily be mine, but I can get overwhelmed when I see something that I consider to be exceptional. You know, I want to breed nice, healthy dogs with great temperaments, but within that, I want to breed the next great one.
Over the past few years, you've had top dog, best in show at Crufts twice.
Top dog 4 times.
4 times. Overall 4 times. It's quite a list.
Or is it 5? Is it 5 or 4?
I'm not sure.
I think it's 4.
Let's not get greedy. There's time. But Jason, what does Mike bring to the party at Afterglow?
Well, Mike sort of started the party at Afterglow, as I have said before. I think Mike has boundless optimism, boundless enthusiasm to try new things, and sort of a fearless about taking a risk or taking a chance on something that other people might think is crazy or too much effort or too much hassle.
And Mike, Jason's strengths?
Obviously, everybody knows that we were partners in the past and we're business partners now. And what he's done is he's brought a lot of balance to the whole thing, because I can be at times a little bit over enthusiastic and over emotional and just over. You know, I used to be considered a pretty good handler in my own rights years ago, but you know, his prowess as a handler is kind of legendary, and as a team the whole thing's worked brilliantly, and we play to our strengths.
Welcome back to Around the Dog World at National Terrier here at the Stafford Agricultural Centre. Now we need to take a look at our recent Best in Show winners, and we've got a new expert today, Derek Smith. Thank you very much for joining us, Derek. Do you like the buzz around National Terrier?
Yes, very much. It's always a good atmosphere at any terrier show, and National Terrier is the king of terrier shows.
Now last weekend we had 2 shows, Scottish Breeds and UK Toy. Scottish Breeds, there was a dog that's been doing a lot of winning over the last couple of months, Petra, the smooth collie.
Well, without any shadow of a doubt, she is the best smooth collie that we've had in England. I gave her a CC and Best of Breed last year at Welks, and she's been to 19 shows and won 19 CCs, which is some going for any show dog. And I think she is just that little bit special. Probably the best I've ever seen.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. We'll come back to you in a second, but first we need to rewind. Here in Stafford last weekend was UK Toy Dog, and in the main ring was Irene McManus. So let's see who she picks as Best in Show at UK Toy.
Right, so everybody of these 10 shortlist are going to have a final walk, starting with the Affenpinscher, the Bichon Frise. Yes, this is the time to support your best breed. The Chinese Crested, the English Toy Terrier, the Griffon Bruxellois, the Italian Greyhound, the Maltese, the Papillon, the Pomeranian, and finally the Pug. bit of useless information. Out of the 10 shortlist, there are 5 dogs and 5 bitches. A final last look. The boards are being brought out. And the winner of the group is the Bichon Frise. Second in the group is the Chinese Crested. Third, the Pomeranian. And reserve, the Griffon Bruxellois.
Tamara, we're in the moment. Chicken in my hair. No, you haven't got chicken in your hair. You have been in dogs for many, many years. You've won the UK Junior Hound of the Year and you won the International Junior Hound of the Year final. How does this compare today, winning, topping UK Toy Best in Show?
Oh, it's lovely. I don't own the dog. I show it for Beryl. It was her 70th birthday on Wednesday, so this is an amazing birthday present for her, and it's just lovely to do it for other people.
So how did you get involved in showing this dog then?
I saw him at a show, and Beryl was starting to show him, but couldn't really get the best out of him, so I've helped her with that, and then I've obviously started trimming and showing him myself, and culminated in today.
And tell us, how much has he won so far?
So he has 4 CCs, 3 best of breeds, and a Group 1 and a Group 2 now.
Excellent. Well, many congratulations, and wishing you the best of luck for the rest of the year.
Thank you very much.
So Derek, there we are, champion Avenir above and beyond, the Bichon Frise, a worthy winner at UK Toy?
Yes, I thought looked very, very smart. Beautifully presented and very well handled. Looked the part, totally.
And as you said, National Terrier is the top terrier show, but UK Toy is...
Every bit as important as National Terrier to the toy people. It is their show, and it's always a wonderful experience. I try never to miss a UK toy if I can help it.
Yeah, and it's a sort of a stark contrast to here at National Terrier. It's stoic. It feels like these people are here just for terriers. There's no flamboyance.
No, that's right. Well, terrier people are very different to toy people. I would think that if you notice, not many terrier people have toy breeds, and the other way round probably.
Well, thank you very much for speaking to us about our recent Best in Show winners. But we said at the beginning of the programme we're going to focus on the breeds that stood Best in Show Reserve at Crufts. Reserve Best in Show winner was your pick from the utility group, the miniature poodle. Yeah. What was that like, seeing your choice standing on the podium at the end?
It was absolutely wonderful. I mean, as you know, I did Best in Show at Crufts last year. I must say that to go out and do the utility group this year gave me every bit as much pleasure, because Crufts is special. I was really thrilled. I had a good group, but for me, I thought the miniature poodle just stood out. I think he's a very, very beautiful dog. I mean, he's only young, and I would imagine that his best is yet to come.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, and it leads us very nicely on to our next feature. We spoke about the American Cocker earlier, and now let's speak to the winner of Best in Show and Reserve at Crufts this year, both very experienced in the poodle world, Mike Gadsby and Melanie Harwood. So, we're here to talk poodles, and there's nowhere better to come. Mel, what was the poodle initially bred for?
They are a water retrieving dog. They originated in Germany. A lot of people think poodles French, but they are in fact from Germany.
But Mike, there are 3 different sizes?
Well, yeah, there are in the UK. There's 4 in Europe. And, well, FCI countries, not just Europe. But in this country, we're best talking about here, we've got standards, the big ones, miniatures, the medium-sized ones, and toys, the small ones. The whole idea is to breed like a toy that looks like a small miniature or a very small standard.
You should be able to scale a toy up to a standard and a standard up to down to a toy.
But there is evidence to suggest that the standards arrived in a slightly different route than the miniatures and the toys.
In the show ring nowadays, you know, you've got quite elegant looking dogs with shaved parts and lots of coat elsewhere. Has that developed from something else?
Well, of course the styles have changed over the years. I mean, they have to do, because you can't have the coat that you had back in, say, 1950. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
What you think is a lot of coat now is half the coat that was shown in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
But what are the origins of the trim? The continental trim, for instance, has that stemmed from something?
Yeah, I mean, when they were water retrieving, that trim was the ideal trim to be in, because the poms on the bottoms of the legs and the poms on the sides here, they protected the joints. Right. And on the tail as well. Stick the tail up out of the water and you could identify your own dog, because they used to put ribbons on as well.
Right, okay. And I assume the body hair was protecting major organs?
The heart, the lungs,
Yeah.
the ribs, everything.
While we were on coats, there's some suggestion that the breed has a hypoallergenic coat. Mike, is there any truth there?
Yeah, completely. I mean, what's bizarre is that a lot of the crossbreeds, you know, it's become fashionable, particularly Labradoodles. I mean, they market them as being hypoallergenic like a poodle, when in actual fact they rarely are.
Well, the coat's wool. It's not like a normal dog breed coat.
As a breed in the show ring, toys, miniatures and standards all seem to have more success than just about any other breed. What do you put that down to, Mike?
Well, interestingly, you put your hands on them. I think most people are surprised that you've got a really solid dog. Even the toys, you can put your hands on these dogs, any of the sizes, and find a really well-built, well-constructed dog. They have we breed for carriage. We want this drama. We want them to hold their head high and walk like they were in a catwalk model. You know, it's attitude. And I think it makes them very eye-catching in the ring when you actually achieve that.
A couple of years ago, the Kennel Club relaxed some rules, so you can now show a poodle in any trim, is that right?
You can, to a degree. They've got to have, you know, enough hair on them to be, you know, presentable in the ring.
And also you need enough coat so that you can feel the coat texture.
Yeah.
We still breed to a breed standard which calls for you know, quite a coarse water-resistant coat.
But even in a shorter trim, you get enough, you know, enough top knot, enough on the legs. They can look really glamorous. You get such an elegant shape to them as well.
Yeah.
But you've got to have other dog underneath as well to do that with.
Yeah, absolutely. And all breeders are breeding for carriage and that charisma, that attitude. But tell us a bit more about their temperament. What are they like?
Poodles are show-offs. They like to be on the end of the lead and they like to strut around. They are absolute show-offs. They're supposed to be happy. You want no timid poodles, outgoing, love life, love people, love everything kind of dog.
They should be clowns, but there is a slight difference in the three varieties. I always think standard poodles are like having a pal.
It's like having another person around the house.
Yeah.
They really are. You've got to have a standard.
Yeah, and the miniatures and the toys are kind of funny. They make you laugh all the time. You know,
Yeah.
they're like mischievous little clowns that are always up to no good.
No
really.
good, yes, absolutely.
So.
And they're very intelligent. You can do agility with them. You can work them.
And the other thing which we never mentioned as well, which I think is important, they really don't smell, do they?
No, they don't
They
smell at
sound
all.
like they tick all the boxes. Fun, dope shedding, hypoallergenic. You've got 3 different sizes to pick from.
Well, the thing that sort of spoils them slightly is that they're called poodles. Like, there are people who wouldn't have a poodle, but who would actually love poodles.
As a pet, what's the sort of maintenance like?
You know, it wouldn't be too hard for anybody to have, you know, a pet poodle knocking around. I'd say go to the groomers every 6 to 8 weeks just to keep them fresh. It's when they start changing coat, that's when they get knotted because they don't shed. And just sit there watching TV at night with a brush, dog lead on your knee, just give them a quick brush along, they'll be fine.
And if you want to go walking, even the toys, you know, you can't just suddenly decide one day, if you've got a toy that only ever goes for a walk around the block, that you're going to take them 20 miles. But even the toys, if you build them up to it, they've got, you know, they're tough little dogs. There's nothing flimsy or pathetic about them.
They're just such a fun dog to have around, and I have one of each size. I love them.
If anybody said you can only keep one breed, it would be Poodle.
Welcome back to Around the Dog World at the Stafford Agricultural Centre. We promised a lot today. American Cockers, done. Poodles, done. And UK toy in the bag. So let's turn our attention to what we're really here for today, National Terrier. Let's head into the main ring and see who Roger Thomas picks as his Best in Show winner.
Our Best in Show judge Mr. Roger Thomas.
Roger Thomas is being escorted in by the chairman of National Terrier, Max King. And now we see all of the best of breeds come into the ring. I think in the collecting ring we made it 26. We're missing the miniature Bull Terrier. So Roger's having a look round the best of breeds before he gets onto the hands-on. Now his first breed today is the Airedale Terrier, the tallest of all terriers. And from an entry of 57, Martin Phillips, the judge picked number 4, Sairden Moon River, winning a 3rd CC today, along with 3 best of breeds, so becomes a champion. On the table next is the Australian Terrier, judged by Peter Bakewell. There were 13 of them here at National Terrier, and this one a 6th time CC winner. Number 66, champion Mill Valley Blue Persimmon, and owned by Malcolm and Julie Skelton. The Bedlington Terrier is next, and this one is one we've seen before. A group winner at Welks last year. 14 times a CC winner, and Mr. Richardson today at National Terrier gave him that 14th. Number 87, champion Honey Mist, Posh Dreams. Border, this time 154 of them here today under Mr. A. Horner. Number 148, Bandicoot Doc Martin. Winner of 5 CCs, 4 times best of breed. I understand made up at Crufts. The Bull Terrier on the floor for Roger now. And out of 32, Mrs. A. Blair picked number 303, Bryden Diamond. A Best in Show winner at Breed Open Shows. And this was a first CC today. So very excited owners, I'll bet. Unfortunately, the miniature had to go home. But we move on to the Cairn Terrier. Mrs. Goldfinch had 62 of them today, and she picked champion Lentricia Dolly Daydream, the winner of 8 CCs. The Chesky Terrier. There were 31 of them here today, and for almost the first time they were being awarded CCs, again judged by Martin Phillips. And this is one of the breed's big winners, Jansky Celtic Keska, winning a 2nd CC. Dandy Dinmonts are next. 40 of them here today for Liz Cartledge, and it's the last of them classified in the catalogue, 479 Cloverwood Ice and Fire. It's a first CC win. Next up is Liz Cartledge's Fox Terrier Smooths. 47 here today, a 5th CC winner with Group 4 to her name. This is champion Yoxella Wishlist, 3-time best of breed winner. The Wire is next. 32 of them today, judged by Miss Pierce, and her winner, number 558, Blackdale Buccaneer of Rusmuse. Another first-time CC winner, but handled by very experienced Andrew Goodsell in the Best in Show ring tonight. The Glenavon Marl Terrier. There were 23 of them here today for Peter Bakewell, and this one, Golden Spurs, a first CC winner again, along with 3 reserves. It's the Irish Terrier, a super day for Sairden. This is another one of theirs. 16 CCs, champion Irvine Hill Leave It To Me, last year's top terrier, being handled by an American, Robert Carusi, as John has his hands on another dog that we'll see in a few minutes' time. It's the Jack Russell, everyone's favourite breed it seems at the moment. 49 of them, a first-time best of breed winner, 2 reserve best dogs, and this is Black Packer Di Sutri at Lochiel. They are a charming breed, you can see why they appeal. The Kerry Blue is next. Mrs. Kay Aspin, 28 of them for her today, and this one champion Torham's Cairo Fred, number 674. A 3-year-old owned by Mr. Ramsey. The Lakeland Terrier you may recognise as the Crufts Group winner. 25 of them for Mrs. Callan today. Sairden Enigma. A 5th CC, and has also won a Group 2. The Manchester Terriers next. 28 of them. Felicity Freer's champion Mansaya casting circles with Felfrey. A veteran winning a 6th CC. Takes best of breed under Mr. Abbott today. We move on to the Norfolk Terrier. 52 of them for Mr. Claydon. Di Jenkins, we've seen with a big winning Norfolk before, the breed CC record, but this one a different one, Champion Kinsridge Back Chat. Perhaps dog with attitude, an 8th CC today. The Norwich Terrier, the prick-eared, Mr. Claydon judged again with 31 of them here today. 6th CC for Champion Ragus Jump the Gun. He's owned by Leslie Crawley and Becky Baldwin at the very famous Ragus Kennel. The Parson Russell, 43 of them, and to top the lot, 850. Alan Croft Sovereign at Lion Mill, handled by Kate Smith today, and this is a 3rd CC. So making up a champion today. So very, very happy owners, I imagine. The Scottish Terrier, judged by Julie Coley. 43 of them for her, and her best, 892. Millingford King's Choice. Another new champion today. 3 CCs, 3 reserves, and 3 best of breeds, the full house. And now on to a Welsh breed, the Sealyham Terrier. A 1st CC again, some more happy owners for number 924. Nelida Great Expectations, 15 of them today for Judge Mrs. Bartlett. To the Skye Terrier, 24 of them from Mrs. Parker today, and she picked as her best of breed Juga Edelweiss Mary Poppins. Another 1st CC. We move along to the soft-coated Wheaten Terrier, and this is by Mrs. Bakewell. A 2nd time CC winner, Glentree Gold Mobo to Denzilli, an import. Now the one that'll get the biggest cheer when it moves, the Staffordshire Bull Terrier. 2 judges, Mr. Swanley and Mrs. Norton. 206 of them to pick from, and they ended up with 1176. Cayman Staff's Blackthorn, another 1st CC winner. And back to the table, the Welsh Terrier, judged today by Mike Vickers. Number 1237, Middleline Lagoon Lee. She won her 2nd CC, her 1st being won at Crufts, and this is the 2nd time she is a best of breed winner. We move on to the West Highland White, 53 for Mr. Smith today, and a 2nd CC for Liz and Chris, Line Me Up. This is the 1st time the dog's won best of breed, but has amassed 5 reserves. And now it's time for the shortlist. He's seen all the dogs once, so he brings in the Bedlington Terrier.
The judge is now just going to make a shortlist.
The Wire Fox comes in, and the Irish Terrier, the Kerry Blue, the Lakeland Terrier, the Parson Russell, the Staffy, and the Welsh Terrier. 8 of them for his shortlist, which I assume we'll see move again. Another look down the line, because he wants to make sure he gets this right. Just about the biggest terrier group in the country, maybe except Crufts. It's certainly the one all terrier folk want to win or judge. And he starts at the bottom. We're going to see the Welsh Terrier move again. Middleline Lagoon Lee, the bitch, moving up and back. From 206 Staffies, this was the winner, Cayman Staff's Blackthorn. A little more interested in the plant pot, it looks like, than giving him a out and back, but he settles. And the Parson Russell next, Almcroft Sovereign at Lion Mill. And this is the big winner, Crufts Terrier Group winner, Champion Cerdan Enigma. A young man, just 21 months old, I believe. Next up, a Kerry Blue, Champion Tournam's Cairo Fred. Always look a handful, this breed, to get them performing in the ring. I think it's safe to say the Irish is a bit of a handful too. Champion and American champion Irvin Hill, Leave It To Me. A super day for Cerdan and Irvine Hill, with 2 in the shortlist. The Wire Fox, Blackdale Buccaneer of Russ Mews. And these terrier men know how to present dogs. And finally, champion Honey Miss Posh Dreams, the Bedlington Terrier. Out and back, can she add to her group win from around about this time last year? He's stepping out to take another look. And looks like he's ready. The boards are on their way. So come back after the break to see Roger's best in show pick at National Terrier. He's stepping out and looks like he's ready. The boards are on their way. Tension mounts. And there we are. Champion Cerdan Enigma, Alan, best in show winner at National Terrier. It's the Lakeland, followed by Monaline Lagoon Lee, reserve best in show winner, the Welsh Terrier. Third goes to the Kerry Blue, champion Turum Cairo Fred. And fourth, Bedlington Terrier, champion Honey Mist Posh Dreams. Well, best in show at National Terrier 2017, Cerdan Enigma, Alan. John, he's had an incredible month.
Yeah, yeah, you can't top this. It gets no better.
What were your expectations at the start of this year, Alan?
I like him, so I was hoping he'd do well, but couldn't have dreamt this.
No. And standing on the outside of the ring, he's a very special dog, isn't he?
He is. He's an excellent dog. You know, his movement is superb. He's so sound coming and going, and one of the most important things is these guys. What they do, mate. It's unbelievable.
Hey, beer time tonight.
It's on him, don't worry.
They do a brilliant job. They do a fantastic job, these guys, and they make this dog. Obviously, what John's done in this country with him, and then he's going to move on. He's going to be shown in America by one of the best handlers in America, Robert Cruzy, and under his guidance out there, he'll do what he's done here under John's. Yeah. And I'm very proud of them both and the dog. Brilliant.
Now, having seen this dog, you've got to be pretty excited now.
Well, I was pretty excited when he won the group at Crufts, and to come off National Terrier and Crufts. It's quite a big commitment for myself and a challenge for me to keep up to the level.
Yeah.
So the dog certainly has it in it. So.
Don't you know?
I think so. I mean, we've had some pretty good success with some others, but I'm very excited to have him.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
And so he's off to the States.
Yeah, off to the States.
How long for? Is he coming back? What's the plan?
From the States, he'll be going to Malta, obviously, because the co-owner is Johan Shembry, who lives in Malta. And Johan has had a great tradition, I think, for 10 years running now. He's had the top show dog in Malta. Wow. So this dog's going to make it 11. No problem.
But John, having had these the biggest two terrier groups in the country, you got to be quite sad to see Alan go.
Yeah, I'm going to miss him terribly. Yeah, but I know he's in good hands, and it'll be nice to see what he does out there.
Yeah. For you as a handler, what's made him special?
He just loves to show, and that's what it's all about. He's great breed type, sound as a pound, and he loves to show. He just loves to do it.
But you've been busy. You had 3 best of breeds today.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go and buy a raffle ticket after.
Do you know the lottery at the weekend? No,
I might start.
Well, congratulations again, guys. Well done, Alan, and best of luck in the States and in Malta. Well done, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Sir Roger, your best in show winner, National Terrier 2017, Alan, the Lakeland. What did you make of him?
Well, obviously, he won the Terrier Group at Crufts. So, yeah, you go in and you see it there and you think that was the one. We're going to have an extra good look at that, which I did. And, my gosh, I think he fits the standard pretty well. And again, movement, no stringing up, straight and true, cracking head. And overall, when you look at him, going round in profile especially, he's doing the job, and I think he could do a job, you know. So, yeah, thoroughly enjoyed him. He was great, stood out, I think.
And the Welsh in second.
Yeah, well, that's another good one for a youngster and a bitch.
Yeah.
This one particularly, again, straight and true, and again, presentation, lovely coat, head, etc. Youngster, really, but I think deserved it.
Lots of promise. And in third place, the Kerry Blue.
Kerry, another young one as such, 3. But again, presentation was good. Lovely head coming on with the length. And so I think, again, more for the future there.
And in fourth place, Bedlington Terrier.
And she was lovely. Another good mover, nice head in profile. Yeah, presentation was good. And angulation okay. Yeah, fine, excellent.
And this is the biggest terrier show in the country. You were the president or the chairman, so you've been involved in the show, but to judge it must be very special.
No, there's nothing to beat this. Yeah. Nothing to beat this. So yeah, greatly honoured and a great privilege.
And it is the biggest terrier show in the country. It attracts the entries. What about the quality for you today?
Well, I thought the quality, I think very often quality can be expressed by what you see in your puppies coming through. And I picked out 11, it's a funny number, but I thought I'm just going to pick out as many, you know, that I thought I liked, that had plenty of promise. And there were another 3 or 4 as well, but we'd have been here for another half an hour perhaps. And I thought the quality was there in the puppies, and so therefore hopefully that's where you get the future. Yeah.
And what about that puppy that ended up best puppy in the show, the Dandy?
Dandy, lovely character. And, you know, when I went over her on the table, you know, absolutely not full of herself, but enjoying me going over her. The tail was just lightly wagging. Lovely head. The Dandy's eyes can melt you a bit if you're not careful, and nicely shaped. And again, promising for the future. 10 months, I think she was. Yes, 10 months.
So it sounds like you've had a rather good day.
Yeah, well, I hope so. Well, I have, and you know, I think I've thoroughly enjoyed it. So I just hope everybody else has, because it's a dream come true to judge here.
Well, congratulations and thanks for talking to us.
Thank you very much indeed.
Well, to top the Crufts Terrier group, Enigma, Alan, won National Terrier Best in Show. The 2 biggest terrier groups of the year. A smashing dog, isn't he?
Absolutely wonderful. And I'm always full of praise for the whole family, because they're a dynasty of terrier people. And these people with terriers work so hard. People don't understand what goes into preparing a terrier for show. And when you can get the amount of dogs that those people get ready for one show, it really is incredible.
3 best of breeds today.
3 best of breeds today, yes. And very well deserved, all of them.
Yeah, move on to second, the Welsh Terrier.
The Welsh Terrier, yes, that was very nice as well. Smart little dog in beautiful condition, and owned by some people, I understand, from, I think it was Lithuania.
Oh, wow.
Somewhere like that. They were very excited.
I can understand that. And the Kerry Blue in third?
Yes, the Kerry Blue, very smart dog again. He comes from a good kennel of good dogs, the owner having previously had a Crufts Best in Show winner, famous Scarf Michael.
Yeah. And in fourth place, Bedlington Terrier. I think we watched it win the group at Welks last year.
I thought that looked really good today, in beautiful coat and condition, and beautifully presented, and really looked the part.
Yeah. And we finished in the puppies, finishing up with the Dandy Dinman, best puppy in show.
It's very nice for one of the vulnerable breeds to you know, get a win like that. It's a big help to them.
Second in the puppies was the West Highland White.
I thought that was very nice. That caught my eye when the puppy group assembled.
And a smart wire in third.
Very smart indeed, yes. That's come from Malta, bred in Malta, but I understand it's staying here now.
And finishing off with the Scottie in fourth.
Yeah, the Scottie looked very well too. Nice puppy.
Well, unfortunately, the Lakeland, I don't think we're going to see it again. He's off to America and then to Malta himself. A shame to see a dog that good leave.
Yeah, it is. And especially, you know, when it's had such a marvellous start to the year, you hope that that would be one that could be in contention for Dog of the Year.
Yeah.
but it won't be here to support itself.
Unfortunately not.
No.
Well, thank you very much, Derek, for stepping into Diane Andrews' shoes. It's been wonderful having you today.
You're very welcome.
We'll see you perhaps at Welks.
No, I'm not at Wells.
Okay.
I'll be at Birmingham.
All right, we'll see you at one of them. Thank you very much, Derek.
You're very welcome.
So, there you have it. Best in Show and National Terrier 2017. Alan Searden Enigma. We're not going to see him again. Goodbye, Alan. And we'll see you next time at Welks on Around the Dog World.